Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Rafik Kurniawan. Saya dari kampus IKIP Siliwangi dengan jurusan Pendidikan Guru Sekolah Dasar atau disingkat PGSD. Saya dari kelas B1 tahun angkatan 2022 dengan NIM 220600247. Dibuatnya video tutorial ini adalah untuk memenuhi tugas mata kuliah, tugas UAS mata kuliah English for Academic Purpose yang diampu oleh dosen pengampu Bapak Acep Haryudin, M.Pd. First of all, I will explain the content of the teaching tool that I have translated. And this is Language Teach Module English. And this is arranged by Siska Indriani. And now I explain the English teaching module, Short Functional Text Online Review. This has general information and the number 1 is school identified. And the school name is SPK SMA Pribadi Bandung and the subject is English. And the past or class is ENX. And the domain is Functional Text Online Review. And the topic has 2 topics. Number 1 is reading and viewing. Number 2 is reading and presenting. And the time allocation has 2 equals 30 minutes. Is the same for 1 meeting. And semester is odd. And academic year is 2023 and 2024. And our name is Siska Indriani. Number 2 is initial competency prerequisite. Students have initial knowledge about short text types and are able to read information in English well and correctly. Participants have sufficient understanding about constructing sentence in present tense and past tense properly and correctly. Number 3 is Pancasila student profile. P3, believing, fearful of God Almighty and of noble character. This learning activity begins and ends with praying to God Almighty with the aim that students can participate in learning activities in healthy, smooth condition and gain useful knowledge and become a reflection of a person who has noble morals. Number 2 is critical reasoning. In this activity, students are invited to analyze, examine only reviews, and identify language features from the text. This develops students' ability to think critically about implicit and explicit message in the text. Number 3 is independent. Students can find information in online review example independently. Number 4 is work together. Students are able to collaborate or work together in creating an online review text using various media. Number 5 is creative. Students are able to produce ideas, work and flexibility of thinking and creating an online review using various applications. Number 4 is facilities and infrastructure. This has Sumber belajar of Tennis C. Pusta Hastreng J. and Louis Jones P. 2017 Cambridge English Empower B1 plus student books intermediate Cambridge University Press. And the media and taught materials is laptop, LCD projector, smartboard, smartphone, speaker, blackboard, and presentation slides. Number 5 is has target student. Student with English language skill at level A2 for B1. And number 6, learning models or methods. This has project-based learning or PGBL by optimizing a TVACK. And the point B is main module. Number 1 has material to be studied. This has short functional text. A short functional text is a brief piece of writing that serves a specific purpose or function. Examples of short functional text include notice, advertisement, emails, and reviews. For online review, an online review is a written evaluation or commentary about a product, service, or experience posted on the internet. In the context of your question, it specifically refers to a review or restaurant or cafes. Online reviews are commonly found on various platforms such as review websites, social media, or dedicated review section on business website. Online reviews serve multiple purposes. Consumers are used them to make informed decision about where to dine, what product to buy, or which service to us. And the language feature for writing online review. When writing online review, several language features contribute to the effectiveness and clarity of the message. This has positive and negative adverbs. These adverbs have convey the review feeling or opinion about the experience. Examples include fairly, terribly, or completely and absolutely. And the correct past tense. Using past tense accurately is crucial in narrating the detail of the dining experience. Whether it's describing a positive encounter or expressing dissatisfaction, the correct past tense adds precision to the narrative. And the descriptive language, implying vivid and descriptive language, have paint a clear picture of the experience. This can include details about the ambitions, service, and the taste and presentation of the food or beverage. The adjectives that can be used are highly recommended, fresh, plenty of space. And number 2 is learning objective. Students can find information related to short functional text, online review through reading activities correctly. Students can create a short functional text, online review through group discussion activities using online application in a clear and interesting way. Students can present short functional text, online review that have been made through spoken language well. Students can evaluate short functional text, online review, and provide feedback through good presentation activities. And number 3, outstanding meaningful. After studying informal online review text, students can create similar text and present them well to other students. And number 5 is ignited question. What makes people want to eat in a certain cafe or a restaurant? What role do you think visuals, such a photo of dishes, play in a restaurant or cafe review? If you were to write a review for your favorite restaurant or cafe, what aspect would you highlight to help others understand why you love it? And point C is learning activities. Let me introduction. In this stage, this has preparation and orientation. And the teacher activities is open the class with greeting and prayer, checking student attendance, provide questions related to initial competence via word wall. And student activities is receive greeting with an open and friendly attitude, show attention and empathy when hearing or responding to greeting, delivering prayer with gratitude and service, show concern for the learning process by responding to the teacher when checking attendance, communicate with the teacher and classmates in a positive and polite manner, demonstrate a responsible attitude by notifying the teacher if there is special reason for attendance, and analyze quiz question to identify the correct verb to complete the sentence provided. Compare the verb forms in the multiple choice to determine the correct verb. And the allocation time is 10 minutes. And the next, teacher gives a question. What makes people want to eat in a certain cafe or a restaurant? What role do you think visuals such as photo of dishes play in a restaurant or cafe review? If you were to write a review for your favorite restaurant or cafe, what aspect would you highlight to help others understand why you love it? And this has stage verification. And the next, plays audio containing someone talking about a restaurant they have visited. Ask question related to the audio heard. Why doesn't Zev like the atmosphere in a expensive restaurant? What does he say about the food? Convey learning objective. And the student activity is analysis and evaluate various possible answers and choose the most appropriate one. Analysis important information in audio and identify key pattern or themes. Summarize more abstract information from audio information. Ask in-depth questions or create strategies to better understand the material. And the allocation time is 5 minutes. And the next is you. The stage first is phase 1, determine basic question, and the teacher activities is divide students into several groups consisting of 3, 4, 4 students, and provide several examples of informal online review to each group, and provide direction to complete IKIP 1 to 3. And student activities is organizing group member based on given criteria or direction, analysis the text structure and identify important elements, interpret the meaning and purpose of the text by considering the context, synthesis the ideas from discussion to reach comprehensive solution or answer, and the allocation time is 5 minutes. Page 2. Designing product planning and preparing manufacturing schedule. Providing a KPD for and encourage each group to discuss ideas for creating an online review using Canvas sharing. Give each group a Canvas link to express their ideas. And student activities is listen to the teacher direction and ask if there is something you don't understand. Evaluate the contribution of idea from each group member and decide on the best solution based on joint consideration, which will be developed into an online review text. And the time allocation is 10 minutes. The page 3 is monitoring life plans and development project. And the teacher activities is guiding students in completing assessment going around all. Groups and monitoring student activities providing attitude assessment, which include activeness, cooperation, and creativity. And the student activities is analyze the types and characteristics of effective online review text, create a design plan that includes relevant structure and content, applying design plans to create online review text, actively participate in group discussion and activities, collaborate with group members to create creative solutions or products. And the time allocation is 10 minutes. Page 4 is testing result. And the teacher activities is guide students to present their work, organize material, and provide clear instruction about what is expected. And student activities is measure presentation time carefully and make adjustment if necessary. Handling your use of grammar to achieve clarity and accuracy. Practice presentation to improve fluency and speaking skill. And the time allocation is 10 minutes. And page 5 is evaluation learning experience. And the teacher activities and encourage other student groups to provide verbal feedback on the work that has been presented. Evaluate all learning activities. And the teacher and the student activities is provide verbal feedback to other students, receive feedback from practice session and make improvements, actively participate in providing feedback, and the time allocation is 5 minutes. And the next is closing, evaluation and follow-up plan. And the teacher activities is reflect by asking several questions as someone to lead the closing prayer of the lesson, say hello to end the lesson. And student activities is actively participate in the learning process by providing appropriate answer, demonstrate togetherness by responding positively to prayer activities as a form of participation in the group, expressing gratitude to the teacher as a form of appreciation for the learning that has been given. And allocation time is 5 minutes. And the point D is assessment, attitude assessment. Attitude assessment is obtained from the result of observation during learning activities. Attitude assessment in the form of active, cooperative, and creative. And the time done is during learning. Preparation is prepare an attitude assessment rubric form. Implementation is during learning. And follow up if there is a problem, invite students to discuss it. This has the number, the student name, and the rated aspect is active, creativity, and collaboration. This has amount score, attitude, and code mark. Instrument for assessing student activity and providing feedback. This has select student, achievement, date and time of event, place of event, additional info. This is optional. And formative assessment, assessment of work result and presentation. Formative assessment is obtained from group assignment in the form of project assessment. The time down is during learning, preparation is prepare work and presentation assessment rubric forms, implementation is during learning, and the follow-up is processing the assessment result. This is has work assessment rubric. This is has assessment criteria, and this is points award. The creativity is unique and original, quite creative, limited in creativity, less creative, very uncreative. For unique and original has 5 points. Quite creative has 4 points. Limit in creativity has 3 points. Less creative has 2 points. And the very uncreative has 1 point. Next is visual design. Interesting and easy to read has 5 points. Interesting with some flows has 4 points. And the normal has 3 points. Less interesting and difficult to read has 2 points. And difficult to understand has 1 point. And the presentation assessment rubric, this is which contain student names, presentation title, and the grading criteria. The content has 30 points. The content of the presentation is very clear, informative, and appropriate to the topic. And the 25 points. The content of the presentation is clear and informative, although there is some information which is less. And the 20 point. The content of the presentation has some information that is not clear or relevant. And the 15. The content of the presentation is not clear, informative, and does not match the topic. And the 10 point. The content of the presentation is very unclear, uninformative, and irrelevant. And the next, the A point, has enrichment and remedial. Enrichment. Students with greater performance above the class average will receive enrichment activities in the form of individual assessment. And remedial has students with grade or performance below the class average will make improvement and revisit assignment. Students will carry out guide learning, namely by asking for help from students with grade above the class average. And the next, the if point has teacher reflection. This is have the learning objective been achieved? The student collaborate well in discussion activities. Others change in student attitude and skill during the learning activity process. And the point G is student reflection. What material difficult to understand? What activities are difficult to complete? And the next is appendix. For M.Pd, this is has link, and the teacher and student reading material has learning and reading research. And from glossary has value for money, definition, the perceived benefits are worth derived from a product or service in relation to its cost. It reflects the satisfaction a consumer feels based on the overall experience and utility gained from the money spent. The atmosphere, definition, the overall environment or mood of a place, often influenced by factors such as decor, lighting, music, and general ambience, it contribute to the overall experience and can affect how comfortable and enjoyable a space feels. And friendliness, definition, the quality of being friendly, warm, and admissible in a service or social context. It refers to the welcome and affable nature of interaction, creating a positive and pleasant experience for individuals. Quality of food, definition is the standard or excellence of the food offered. Encompassing factors such as taste, freshness, preparation, and presentation is a critical aspect of dining experience and contributes significantly to our customer satisfaction. This has many bibliography. For assessment, number 1 is attitude. Attitude assessment rubric, observation assessment. Observation assessment is based on observing student attitude and behavior during the process learning. Direct observation is carried out by the teacher. The following is an example of an assessment instrument attitude. This has number, student name, rate aspect, active, creative, collaboration, and element scores, score attitude, and code mark. Value code and predicate. 75 to 100 is very good. 50 to 75 is good. 25 to 50 is fair. And the 0 for 25 is less. And the rubric indicator of an active attitude in learning. Number 1, it is not good if you show that you do not take part in learning at all. Number 2, sufficient if it shows there is a little effort to take part in learning but not yet steady consistent. It is good if it shows that there has been an effort to take part in learning but not yet steady consistent. It is very good if you show that you have taken part in completing group assignment continuously and steadily consistently. Indicator of cooperative attitude in group activities. Number 1, it is not good if you do not try to cooperate at all in group activities. Number 2, sufficient if it shows there is a little effort to cooperate in group activities but still not steady consistent. Number 3, it is good if it shows that there has been an effort to collaborate in group activities but still not steady consistent. Number 4, it is very good to show an effort to collaborate in group activities continuous and steady consistent. Indicator of a tolerant attitude toward different and creative problem-solving process. Number 1, it is not good if you are not all tolerant of the problem-solving process different and creative. Number 2, it is sufficient if it shows there is little effort to be tolerant of the solution process different and creative problem but still not steady consistent. Number 3, it is good if it shows that there has been an effort to be tolerant toward the solution process different and creative problem but still not steady consistent. It is very good if it shows that there has been an effort to be tolerant of the process solving different and creative problems continuously and consistently. And from attitude journal has number, date, student's name, notes, current behavior, learning, attitude items, and act carry on. And student worksheet or IKIP. Number 1, name of education unit, Bandung Private High School, and the subject is English, and the class or semester is 10 and out, and the subject matter is online review, and the element is reading. This has group name, class, Group member for format. And the student worksheet KPD number 2, name of education unit is Bandung Private High School, and the subject is English, and the class is 10, and the semester is good, and subject matter is online review, and the element is writing. This has format, group name, class, and group member. And the next, this is work assessment rubric, assessment criteria, and point award. For creativity, this has unique and original has 5 points, quite creative has 4 points, limit in creativity has 3 points, less creative has 2 points, and very uncreative has 1 point. And the visual design is interesting and easy to read has 5 points, interesting with some flows has 4 points, and the normal has 3 points, and less interesting and difficult to read has 2 points, and difficult to understand just 1 point. And the next is suitability for purpose. Very suitable has 5 points, suitable enough has 4 points, suitable quang has 3 points, limit suitability has 2 points, and very inappropriate just 1 point. And the next, alignment of content and aspect point. Very suitable has 5 points, it fits a few things just 4 points, limit alignment just 3 points, not suitable has 2 points, and very unsuitable just 1 point. Next, use of linguistic element. Very good has 5 points, good has 4 points, pretty good has 3 points, not so good just 2 points, and very less, this is the worst, has just 1 point. And the presentation assessment rubric has format, student names, and presentation title. And for grading criteria, content is 50. If you has 50 points, the content of the presentation is very clear, informative, and appropriate to the topic. And the 40 point, the content of the presentation is clear and informative, although there is some information which is less. 30 point, the content of the presentation has some information that is not clear or relevant. And 20 point, the content of the presentation is not clear, informative, and does not match the topic. 10 points, the content of the presentation is very unclear, uninformative, and irrelevant. 4. Grading criteria presentation has 50 points. 50 points. The student delivered presentation with confidence, clear voice, and expression, the good one. 40 points. The student delivered the presentation well, although there was several ambiguity or tension. 30 points. Student delivered a presentation with some ambiguities, some lack of clarity or lack of expression. And the 20 point, student has difficulty delivering the presentation, voice is unclear and lacks expression. And the 10 point, student cannot deliver the presentation well, voice is not clear and no expression. And this is the total points. You can count off 100 points. Next, level of active participation of student in learning. Date and time, and the time is 2 equals 30, and the topic is online review. Number 1 of the stage is page 1. Learn orientation to the problem, and student activities is listening to the text and talking up when there is something important, pay attention to the teacher explanation, respond to question given by the teacher. And this has 5 scale: 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next, the number 2, and the stage is level 2, organizing student feeding. Form group according to direction, read the sample text given, actively discuss to complete the assigned tasks. And number 3, this has page 3, guiding the investigation, listen to the teacher instruction, and ask if there is something that is not understand. Carry out the instruction given properly. And the number 4, this is page 4, develop and present results. Present the result of their work. And number 5, phase 5, analyze and evaluate the process and result solution to problem. Provide verbal feedback to other students. And below, this has amount of acquisition and total earnings. And for your information, of the scale 0, this is no student did, 1, few students do it, 2, some students do, 3, almost all students do, and 4, all students did. Active participated student gain mark score is equals 100. And the next is instrument of assessing student activity and providing feedback. Green, select student, achievement, date and time of event, place of event, and additional info optional. And 1 PTS is noble character or akhlak mulia. 1 PTS is tolerance or berkebinekaan global. 1 PTS is cooperation or gotong royong. 1 PTS is independent or mandiri. 1 PTS is critical thinking or bernal kritis. 1 PTS is credibility or creative. Every student who provides constructive feedback on the result of the presentation of the student will be given green card. And the next, this has teacher reflection journal. And of course, the school name is SPK Private High School Bandung, and the teacher name is Siska Indriani. At this stage, I will reflect on the learning activities in class that I have carried from the beginning to the end of the lesson by answering the following trigger question. Number 1, can the learning activity that I have carried out increase student involvement in learning? Number 2, are in the learning step I take in accordance with the learning syntax that I have completed in the teaching module? And 3, how do students respond to the learning strategies that I apply? Number 4, what about media and the application of technology in learning? And the student reflection journal. At the end of the lesson, students are asked to reflect on the learning that has been carried by answering the following guiding question. Number 1, what did you master most during your studies? Number 2, what thing have you not mastered in this lesson? Number 3, which activity do you think is the most memorable or most liked during the learning process? Number 4, what is your next target after this? Next, this has action implementation observation sheet. School SPK Private High School Bandung, and the teacher name is Siska Indriani. Level learning is introduction, and the syntax learning is orientation. And for activity description, teacher and student, the teacher says hello, the teacher invites student to pray, and the teacher check the student attendance, and student answer verbal quiz question. And for implementability, has yes and no, and of course the notes. And the next syntax is observation, and the activity description is the teacher gives trigger question related to online review. The teacher plays audio about someone experience it in a restaurant. Student respond to question from the teacher based on audio. The teacher convey the purpose of learning. And the next syntax has phase 1 determine basic question. The teacher divides students into several groups consisting of 3 or 4 people. The teacher provides a link to the KPD in Canva that must be done in groups. The teacher gives direction for working on the KPD 1 to 3. Students actively discuss to answer questions in LKPD. And it's all from you. Activities. And the phase 3. And the phase 2, this is designing, planning product, and prepare a manufacturing schedule. The teacher asks each group to do activities in Canva LKPD, make an online review on a restaurant or cafe. Students carry out assignment according to what is written on the LKPD. And the next, phase 3, monitoring liveliness and development project. The teacher guides the student in carrying out the activity, organize material, and provide their clear instruction about what is expected. And phase 4, develop and present result. Students complete assignment to create online review. Students present their work. And phase 5, analyze and evaluate the process and result. Teacher encourage students to provide feedback. Students provide feedback on the work that has been present. The teacher evaluates all learning activities. And the closing, the teacher asks one of the students to lead the closing prayer. The teacher says greeting to end the lesson. Maybe that's enough from me. I apologize if there are grammatical or vocabulary pronunciation error. For this reason, I will really appreciate constructive criticism and positive suggestion. That's all. I'm really thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.